So some sad news here. The anime streaming service Daisuki is actually shutting down. Now, I have to be honest with you, I've never used Daisuki. So, shame on me. Have you ever used Daisuki, Tristan?
Yeah,
Oh!
Daisuke was
Oh shit.
actually the first place I saw One Punch Man.
Oh shit. Oh,
So
actually, wait. Wasn't it exclusive to Daisuki or no?
I'm not sure, but I know when I
Okay.
started watching it with some of my friends, that's
Hmm.
where we first picked it up. So
It's interesting. It might have been exclusive then. I'm not. I don't want to just make up stuff. But the reason why I'm saying that is because of the fact that I know some of our friends. There's no way that they would go over Daisuki than Crunchyroll. I think. I don't know. Maybe it's just me.
yeah,
Yeah,
no, really not. But
but no. But that's why I think it's interesting because Daisuki had some exclusives, but
yeah,
I think that but it's sad because look, I'm very upset that they died. Why? I've never gone on it, so shame on me, right? I'm part of the problem. But I don't watch a lot of newer anime in general, so it's not even like I'm giving all of my business to Crunchyroll. It's like, well, what business am I giving, right? Like literally, we watch Super there for our podcasts, and that's all I've been seeing on Crunchyroll, right? Should I watch more? Yes, I should watch more. What's wrong with me? But I haven't been, right? So it's not even like I'm giving all this business, right? But still, it's kind of sad because even though I love Crunchyroll, I love Funimation. Funimation is literally my childhood. Without Funimation, I probably wouldn't be here today doing the stuff that I do today, right? And I think maybe you wouldn't be either in some respects, at least in terms of podcasts and the Let's Plays.
yeah,
But I don't like monopolies. I'm not the biggest fan of monopolies. And I know that there's other streaming services. I think there's High Dive, that's a new one that just came out. So and we'll talk about that a little bit later in the show. So there's other streaming services that exist. This isn't the only one. Like Crunchyroll isn't the only one. And of course Netflix technically counts as an anime streaming service now because of how huge it is. Amazon Prime, no, dude,
yeah. No, I know you're
it
right.
just sounds funny, right?
Yeah,
Because
you just
Netflix is
don't
like
think of it
everything.
that way. Yeah,
Yeah, I don't either because I really don't watch my anime there. But they have newer anime coming there, Little Witch Academia and some other stuff that they bring there. So it's not like this is it's not like it's just Daisuke that's dying. There's only Crunchyroll,
right,
Amazon Prime as well. But I just feel like with how big Crunchyroll is getting, and I'm happy that they're getting big. Again, I want them to be successful. I don't want there to be no more anime streaming services. The fan sub days were the people want to be so nostalgic for the fan sub days, right? But remember that yes, Crunchyroll can get things wrong. Yes, Funimation can get things wrong. I'm not saying that if you're official, you're always 100% right. But Crunchyroll has the ability to have companies give them scripts in advance so they know what's coming in the future, so they know how to write a scene with foreshadowing.
right.
Fan subs can't do that. So, I mean, that's just one little, small little thing. Now, I'm not saying that fan subs are, I'm not saying like, oh, they're scum of the earth and we shouldn't. Look, I'm not trying to, take down fan subs. I'm just saying that, like, take them down a peg or anything like that. I'm just saying that, there was a point when it would be like, oh, Tristan, I really wish I could have seen that show. And you were like, I wish so too. And then we just wouldn't be seeing it, right?
Right.
But nowadays, Crunchyroll picks up so much, and then other streaming services are picking up things that they don't pick up. So there is a vast abundance of anime surrounding us, literally at our fingertips, literally simulcasted. So you
Right.
can see an anime the same day that it came out in Japan. That's crazy.
Yeah.
So, I mean, yes, you have to have, a Crunchyroll subscription for that, a paid subscription. But even then, I think the paid subscription is like $9. So,
Yeah.
like, I
A
don't,
month.
I don't do it. $9 a month, yeah. So, like, do I
Yeah.
do it? No, because again, do I have that kind of money in my bank account? But it's something that isn't unattainable,
Right.
right?
Yeah.
So yeah, so I think that it's cool to have all this different anime streaming, and for anyone that wants to pick up older '70s shows that obviously Crunchyroll and some other companies wouldn't touch, then they can try to fan sub that all they want. But when it comes to newer shows, yeah, like Crunchyroll picks up a lot, not everything obviously, but a lot of shows, and of course Funimation as well, and there's some other streaming services that I can't think off the top of my head, but yeah, I just feel really weird about monopolies though. So having Daisuki there as an alternative. Also, Daisuki was made by Japanese companies to be a streaming service. So, like, Crunchyroll is made by an American company. Funimation even though Gen Fukunaga, who I don't know if he's still the CEO, but I know that he actually worked at Toei before starting Funimation, it's still not technically a branch of Toei, right? Like, Funimation isn't a branch of Toei. So to have Daisuki be there as like a Japanese branch of all of, or an American branch of all of these different Japanese companies, I think that was really cool.
Yeah.
The problem, though, is that I mentioned earlier in the podcast, I was talking about how Bandai of America, their problem was that, one of their problems was that Bandai wasn't giving them dibs on everything quickly. So, like, other companies could technically license their stuff if they wanted to. And that's what happened here with Daisuki. So Daisuki would be, like, could have gotten dibs to, I can't think of any anime off the top of my head, but, like, let's say, like, X popular anime here, right? Oh, this anime, super popular in Japan. Daisuki could be the only one streaming it, but other companies are paying money, like Funimation, Crunchyroll, Netflix, Amazon Prime. So what are the parent companies going to do? Are they going to just give it to Daisuki for free and let them... actually, it's funny because Daisuki would still bid on it. But would they let Daisuki be the only one to bid on it and take their money? Or give it to all these other companies as well and take all of their money to try to recoup the cost? Remember, Tristan, and one anime episode can cost $50,000. One anime episode costs $50,000. So that's why you have production committees with 5 different anime companies coming together to try and pay like $10K each, let's say, right?
Right.
So, I'm making a hypothetical number here. So like $10K each. So you basically have them pay all that. And it's funny because even though it might be like, oh, but 4 of those companies are working with Daisuki. Yes, but the one company that is actually licensed, is the company to talk to about licensing the anime in the West, they might not be working with Daisuki. So they don't want to make the other 4 companies upset, but they also don't want to, and I'm just making up a hypothetical here, I'm not saying this is actually how it worked, but like specifically in Daisuki, but like they do, it just gets really difficult when you need to recoup the costs for these very expensive anime in the West, and in general, and releasing them in the West recoups those costs. But you also have a streaming service that it would arguably make that streaming service more, I can't think of the word, not lucrative, but it would make more enticing if people were to just only get certain anime on there.
Right.
Like your One Punch Man, or like your Attack on Titan, or something like that. But so it gets really difficult. What position you're in a position where, like with Bandai of America, it was like, guys, just my opinion, it was like, maybe just try to give your U.S. company this anime for a little bit cheaper, right?
Right. Yeah.
But for here, it's like when now in this age of anime where streaming is huge, and all these other companies are trying to bid on the shows, like, are you going to just give it to your own streaming service? Normally, I would say it would be smarter to do that. But how much money are you getting from these other companies, right?
Right.
Where if you're getting like, again, if it's $50K an episode, and this company is like, hey, we want to pay $10,000 here. Another one says, yeah, we also want to pay $10,000. Another one says, yeah, $10,000. And all of a sudden, you have 4 companies paying, $40,000, just automatically, right? And then your company says, yeah, we'll also pay $10,000, right? It's like, well, like, you're gonna give it to them. You're not gonna say no to Daisuki, but are you gonna give it to them exclusively when you could be making $40,000 elsewhere? Like, it's so hard, right? It's such a hard decision. And have you seen anything else on Daisuki, or only just One Punch Man?
Yeah, I mean, it also seemed like there were technical problems here and there with just difficulties with streaming,
Did it happen to you personally?
I can remember once or twice. Like I think I remember watching One Punch, and it was like, oh, the site was down, and I couldn't get into it. So
that's something that I heard as well. So it sucks because I don't want to put it on the parent company, like, oh, it's their fault. Because, like, no, it's the idea. It's the fact that the site couldn't run properly according to, and I'm not saying this because I've never used it, sadly. I saw it and I was like, oh, this is cool, but the anime didn't excite me, and then I didn't really, because I wasn't watching anything really new at the time. And
Right.
One Punch Man, I was so busy. I was like, when I want to watch this, I want to watch it for the podcast.
Yeah.
So that's why I didn't watch it there at the time. But yeah, so apparently there were problems with playback issues, which when your website is about watching anime, and that's all it's about, it can't be down even for a day.
Right.
Another issue is that apparently it started way late, where it started, I think, not in 2014, but it didn't start, like, anime streaming had already been such a thing by that point that, even if it was 2013, that everyone was like, yeah, we know Crunchyroll.
Right, yeah.
So, unless you're something like Netflix, that's a juggernaut that's releasing other stuff on the side, same thing with like Amazon Prime, that's releasing other stuff on the side, there's no, like, it's really hard to
get into the race.
Yeah, to get into the race, unless you have something unique and different. And there were some people that were like, oh, there's anime here that isn't anywhere else.
Anywhere else, yeah. But it wasn't big enough to gather enough attention.
I would argue it could have been if the site had worked well.
Right. I mean, because Prince of Tennis was one of their exclusives too, and like I have friends that watch Prince of Tennis and read the manga, and like we enjoy it, but like,
and that's where they would have went.
Right.
Yeah. Another issue too is that apparently when they first started out, their business model was, oh, let's put merch right in the merch section, right? I mean, who doesn't do that? But it wasn't just about putting merch in the merch section. It was making it. It was making it. What did you say?
Says the guy wearing our shirt.
Says the guy wearing one of our shirts. that you can get over at tgproduction.net/merchandise or at our eBay/USR/radio. My point is that it's not about merch being the issue. It's that they put it at Japanese prices. So they put the merch at the Japanese markup. Right. And then, apparently, they didn't put ads on their videos at first. They didn't even have a subscription. You could just watch anime on it for free. Now, that brings a lot of eyes, but you don't put any ads at all? Like, how are you making money back?
Right.
Now, granted, it was the parent company's anime that was on there, so you could say, oh, well, they're not paying out the butt out the ass they're not paying that much for the licensing fees.
Right.
But still, man, like, at the very least, if it's free, you put ads on it if you need to make some money off of this. So apparently it took them a while to adopt the ads and the subscription service, but then there were still problems with the video playback. So at that point, it was really sad from what I've heard. Because apparently they released this anime called Elgaim, which I've never seen before. But I've heard of it, and it's a big anime, like, I say big, but like in the mecha community, right? It's a big anime. And again, it's a small community in itself, in each community. But still, it was, like, people loved it. It was never officially subbed until it hits Daisuki.
Right.
Never officially subbed until it hits Daisuki. So everyone's like, oh my god, that's so cool. And then Daisuki announces that it's going down. It's like, oh, that hurts, man.
Yeah.
That hurts so much. Oh, God. Yeah. So anyway, rest in peace, Daisuki. While I never used it, it's still sad to see it go down because, again, I'm not fond of monopolies, Tristan. I like there to be healthy competition, Right. I think it makes businesses better. So, well.